Good morning, Intenders.
Good morning.
Welcome back to Morning Intentions. Today is Thursday, December 18th, and thank you so much for being here for this month of trust. Whether this is your first time, your 100th time, your 1000th time, however long you've been with us, we're so happy and appreciative that you are here with us for Morning Intentions. Yesterday and today, our focus is on soothe. Don't suppress. When we are very activated, when our nervous systems are on fire, that's the way I like to describe it, it's nearly impossible to trust. How are we going to look and feel the love that's within all of us? Even if it's dimly lit, there is love inside of us. And what can get in the way is when we have suppressed our feelings, we haven't taken the time to feel them. Maybe it hasn't felt safe to feel our feelings. In those instances, we need to set up our life structure to give us space and room in order to feel our feelings. Annette, I'm sure, since I'm just always going to default to you on this, because I know how to feel my feelings, and I know you know
gosh,
I
you
know
do.
how to feel my feelings, since you are our resident feeling suppressor who has since learned to feel your feelings and felt the soothing experience of feeling your feelings. I'm going to look to you as our expert. What did it take for you to get into this space where you could feel your feelings? Because I'm imagining that if you don't feel safe to feel your feelings, and I'm not imagining that part, I'm imagining that when people don't feel safe to feel their feelings, what can they do in order to feel that sense of safety to feel them?
That's a big question, Ada, because there's so much involved to creating a life structure that's peaceful. My experience has been that I got into the habit of, you would maybe say, suppressing your feelings. That's the words we're using. Like I said a few weeks ago, I had this mindset. If I couldn't solve my feeling, so I'm feeling frustrated. Well, if I couldn't solve the reason why I was feeling frustrated, well, then I thought, well, there's no sense even feeling it. So now I'm past that, and I've shared that with you on the podcast. My journey of feeling my feelings and tacking on this last bit, which has been, okay, I can take time to feel my feelings. They're only going to last 15 or 20 minutes. I don't have to have a solution if there's a problem. That last bit that I'm working on, but I pretty much have it down, that was a long time in coming because of the life structure that I had. And what I mean by that is it really wasn't a peaceful structure. Now, that doesn't mean that fights were breaking out and I've come from this very violent place. It doesn't mean that at all. It was more peace inside of me. I had to get to this place where I'm a pretty calm person, but I had to get to this place inside of me that was calm was my default. Like, calm is my default. I can get upset, but I'm not somebody who's going to start yelling. Now, in the past, I wouldn't yell, but I would find myself feeling much more frustrated. I don't feel that way at all anymore. That's because of what I shared yesterday, the VIPs that I have in my life, they support me. The way I've structured my work day and my work week, it supports me. Sometimes Ada and I, we will have very, very long days. And so maybe those days I don't get my 8 hours of sleep, 8 to 9, which is my ideal. But I do on my days off. I do on my weekends. I've structured my life so that I have so much joy. And it doesn't mean that I'm traveling all over the world and eating in exotic restaurants. My joy is simple. My joy is coming home, having dinner with my husband, making something that's delicious to enjoy with him, spending time with my puppies, taking walks and hikes, do a lot of hiking. It's just structuring my life that's simple. And that right there has led to peace because I don't have a nervous system that's always go, 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 go. Like, what's the next thing? Where am I going? What am I going? I'm busy on my work days, but it's work I love. I get up excited to go. I love it. It might be a long day or two, but I love it. But my life, the simpler it gets, the happier I become. Does that answer your question, Ada?
It does. And can we unpack it a little bit?
Sure.
Not that it needs much unpacking. You highlighted so many fantastic ways in which you help soothe rather than suppress. I know you didn't mention this, but I know you take time to exercise.
I do every day. Even if I come home now, not if I come home at 9:00 at night, I don't do this, but if I come home at 7:00, I will walk my mile and a little bit with Miss Molly. There is not a day that I don't walk at least a mile. Most days it's over 2 miles. That's my minimum. That's prioritizing. That's prioritizing my nervous system because as I walk, I start processing my day. So by the time I get in, and Dawn and I eat dinner late, but that's just the way our life is when I work. We don't mind. We're used to it. By the time I get into dinner, I'm ready to hear about his day and what he's done and make the food and enjoy our evening together. That's what I love because I've created a life I love.
So you exercise, you take time for it, you make healthy meals, you get enough sleep, you have boundaries at work so you're not feeling overwhelmed while you're there. You take time for your joys on the weekends. You even, sounds like you have time for some of your joys during the week. You've set your life up so you can actually have the space to feel what you feel.
And we haven't talked about this, but this is just me. I'm only going to say this is me. I've also, since probably the last 7 to 8 years, I've always been a spiritual seeker, but the last 7 to 8 years, I have taken that to not just seeking to more of a place where I have found what is important to me and how I relate to life in a spiritual way. And I nurture that every day. There is not a day that I do not nurture that in some way. That, to me, has helped with everything, actually.
To me, you've made what we like to call a boundary bubble.
Yes, I have.
And a boundary bubble, if you're not familiar with that, is you're setting up boundaries in your life, at work, at home, with friends, with family. You can love more if you have boundaries. You've set up boundaries within yourself about what you're going to focus on, how you're going to think. Then what that does is gives you that space in that room to go within. Because if our lives are chaotic, and I like to use the chaotic because that's how it's felt to me, we don't have enough space to go within.
No, we don't.
So taking time to exercise and the things that you listed, but also taking time to stop and be still and let what's alive in you come up for healing. If we just go, 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 what we need to look at will go deeper and deeper till we don't feel it. So we need to stop. We need to be still and allow what needs to be seen and what needs to be healed to come up, to be part of our awareness. That way, we can start to work on it. The more we suppress and the less we soothe, the less our problems can be solved because we're not looking at them.
We don't have the capacity to look at them.
No, so we do need to set up life so we can have that capacity. Think of our stress cup. And if we just keep filling and filling and filling that stress cup with all of our stressors, there's not room for feeling our feelings. We have to pour things out of our stress cup, give ourselves some breathing room so we can truly go inside and look at what needs to be looked at. And that's when we can soothe. That's when we can feel. And it doesn't take as much time or energy as you might think. And like I said a few days ago, you might need support. And Annette and I, that's what we're here for. We get to support. And it is a get to. We get to support people and helping them soothe their experiences and help them to learn and grow and become the best version of themselves. So if you need support, don't hesitate to seek that out. Find the support that can help you soothe. So our intention for today is, I will support myself by creating a life structure that leads to peace where I can soothe instead of suppress. I will support myself by creating a life structure that leads to peace where I can soothe instead of suppress. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you tomorrow.
See you then.